Hey everyone, it's Paul again from Ballistic Blood Bullets, doing a very big shout out for One Quick GT, aka Fast Eddie.
This car could be systematic, hydromatic, ultramatic. Why could be grease lightning? Grease lightning. Get some overhead lifters and 4-bell quads. Keep talking, won't keep talking.
Fast Eddie, aka Ed, is an extremely keen collector of all things cool. His collectibles include some incredible box sets and some very, very collectible cool items from all around the world. One film he particularly loves is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which I've got a laserdisc here that we're looking at the moment. And just before we look at the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which is here especially for Ed, just as a pre-thank you to him really for very kindly running a fantastic competition. What Ed has asked of us is to show our 3 films that we feel from our own collections or our own experiences are films that everyone should have in their own collection. So very shortly I've got 3 films that I've selected. Very, very difficult, as I'm sure Ed will appreciate and everybody who's entering the competition will appreciate, but a fascinating subject nonetheless. So we'll look at my 3 selections in a moment, but before that I just, as I say, for Ed, as a thank you, wanted to show him the laserdisc that I have. I don't know if Ed's got the laserdisc. He certainly has every other format and every other edition, which is incredible. And one of the prizes he's very kindly giving away is an incredible edition of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. But anyway, without further ado, let's have a quick look at the laserdisc. That's the front cover. Very cool, very classic film. Toe Pooper's iconic early 70s gore splatter marathon, and it's a film that has the iconic lead bad guy character, as we all know, played by Gunnar Hansen, and that's Leatherface. But all the cast in this film were fantastic, and I can really understand why Ed is such a huge fan of the film. And this is my particular edition of that film. Let's just look inside. It's a gatefold double disc, laser disc set, and very cool edition it is, with lots of extras, various digital tracks and analog tracks as part of the special editions. And it's one of these double discs that's both CLV, which is the longer version of recordability, and disc 2 is in the CAV format, which allows for more information, more special effects, well, special features should I say, like fast forward and slow motion, pause, and all that sort of thing, which, as I said before, is something that we all take for granted these days with the DVDs. Anyway, that's not one of my entries, although I'm sure Ed would love it to be one of the entries. But it's, as I say, just a little nod and a thank you to him. And with pleasure I'm showing it off, and look forward to any comments or any information that I can provide from this disc for Ed if he would like to ask. It'd be a pleasure to respond. So there we are, that's for you, Ed. That's the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Just try and put it back there and hopefully it stays in place. And on to Ed's very fine competition. And my first entry, suggestion for film that everybody should have in their collection is the quite incredible Kick-Ass. This is the steelbook edition of the film. Anybody that's unaware of the film, it's a superhero would-be, or wannabe should I say, a guy that's just a regular Joe, watches a lot of YouTube, sees a lot of people dressing up and portraying their superhero favourites from comic books and that sort of thing, and the lead character here decides to go out and try and stop crime on the streets, gets seriously hurt, but by getting seriously hurt it actually gives him a form of power because it numbs all his senses, and they put him into hospital, put in some metal attachments and all sorts of things, and his senses are numbed and he doesn't really feel any pain, and then he drains himself and becomes the superhero Kick-Ass. But without question, in the film, the star is Chloe Moretz. Now she is a huge star in the making, and her performance in this movie is quite incredible. She's Hit Girl in the film, and she's the daughter of Nicolas Cage's character, who is Big Daddy, I think is his name. He's like a wannabe Batman figure. But Chloe Moretz, her character, she's about 11 years old in the film, and her skills and her abilities as a pocket rocket superhero, she just slices and dices limbs and arms and legs off of people and stabs them and cuts them and slices their throats and uses profanity. If any 11-year-old can get away with using the C word in a film, it's Chloe Moretz. It's just incredible, and the whole film is such a wonderful, fun experience. It's why, really, I have no hesitation in recommending the film. Just trying to open the steelbook inside. Just a quick look. It's a 3-disc special collector's edition, and extremely cool. So I highly recommend this one. Anyone that hasn't got it in their collection and loves action, loves black humour, loves comic book hero type films, this is definitely one to have in the collection. So there we are, that's Kick-Ass, my first recommendation. Next is a complete break from regular films and action, but it's a different type of action, and that's a spaghetti western, which I hope is something that perhaps not everybody will actually pick as a selection in Ed's fine competition. This is a film, it's Sergio Leone production. My Name is Nobody, and it stars Henry Fonda and Terence Hill. Now, Terence Hill will be very familiar to fans of spaghetti westerns from doing his films back in the late 60s, early 70s. Series of movies called Trinity. My Name is Nobody is a more serious role for him. He's still got the traits of Trinity, but this is a really classic film in the spaghetti genre. For all intents and purposes, it's said that Sergio Leone did actually predominantly direct the film. It is a film that is attributed to Tonino Valeri, but I think that Tonino learnt a lot from Sergio, and he definitely would have been pretty much a co-director on this film, and Sergio would have had full reign of it, and you can tell by watching the film the style of it. Basically, the lead character, who is portrayed in such a fashion by Terence Hill that you just can't help but warm to him. And his character is a gunslinger, as is Henry Fonda's, and Terence Hill wants Henry Fonda to be his sort of star name to come up against in a fight, in a gunfight. And Henry Fonda is about to retire, and of course Terence Hill doesn't want him to retire, so he does everything in his power to keep him going and get him at his best to face him in a showdown. And that includes putting Henry Fonda in a position where he's left out in the desert by Terence Hill, and Henry Fonda has to face off against 150 marauding soldiers of not of fortune, but the Wild Bunch. 150 members of the Wild Bunch, all bearing down on him, and it's just Henry Fonda, his horse, his rifle, and his six-shooters. And the score of the film is wonderfully done as well. It's an Ennio Morricone score, and it's filled with such memorable moments. Any fan, true fan of spaghetti westerns will love these little quirky moments. There's a scene that has both Terence Hill and Henry Fonda in a cemetery. And if you look really closely in the background on one of the tombstones is the engraving "Here lies Sam Peckinpah," which I think is very cool. Great film. If you're a spaghetti western fan, you'll absolutely love this. If you're not a spaghetti western fan or a western cowboy fan of films, this one is certainly a little bit different, a little bit more quirky, and very, very much worth seeing. So that's my second recommendation. My name is Nobody. Okay, my third choice for Ed is a Hong Kong film by the action director Johnny To. And this is a film called Exiled, which features 4 main characters who are all hitmen for hire, and the premise of the story is that one of their own rats them out, and they have a whole horde of trials and tribulations to overcome, as well as a contract out on all of their heads to kill them for their previous services rendered, and the information that they have, which holds some of the heads of the criminal underworld in a very tricky situation, so the hit is put out on them. This one again is a very nice little collectible set, which I should think that Ed will appreciate. Very nice little book clip effect design. This one stars some very famous actors from the Hong Kong movie scene. We've got Anthony Wong and Francis Nook and Lam Suet. And we have various, it's almost like a diary effect, and some cool pictures inside. Again, it's one of the big action films from Hong Kong. Johnny To, legendary status now, I think, in the films he not only directs but produces. Everything he brings out is very smart, very taut, very tight, very energetic, and very, very much worth watching. And here at the back we have the DVD, which nestles in the back of this little booklet very nicely. And that is my third choice, Exiled, directed by Johnny To. Superb film, and again, for any action-loving fan particularly, I highly recommend this for their collection. So that's my entries to Ed's competition. Thank you all for watching. A very, very big thank you to Ed for running this competition. A very, very fine prize, and a very best of luck to everybody who enters. For now, thank you all for watching, and as I say, huge thank you to Ed. Take care. See you all soon. Bye for now.